Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How y'all doing? Hey, happy Mother's Day. Welcome to the Darell Show. How y'all doing? I decided to break out the old green screen today. Uh, First off, I just want to say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I don't know if you're watching live or if you're going to watch the replay, but today here in these United States, it's Mother's Day, and we're taking today to celebrate mothers. I'm celebrating my mother, my grandmother, all of my mother figures, and everybody who's had the opportunity to be with children and hang around children and influence children in a positive way. And I know I'm going to get into some mothers who don't deserve to be called mothers. Still getting myself together right here, so y'all please forgive me. But good evening. How y'all doing? Hopefully all is well. This is a beautiful Sunday over here in Summer Coach Studios. As you can see, you see a picture of my mom on her wedding day. I just so happened to be able to officiate that. Then you got my grandmother, my mom's mom, right behind me, right there, Miss Ethel B. Thomas, God rest her soul. And then you got oh wait a minute, my dad's mom right there, Miss Lizzie Mae Williams. All three of these women had a special or play a special role in my life. There are others. My auntie Tit, my mom T, Tit, she's one of them. Well, Clara Jones, y'all may know her. She's one of those special women in my life. And I got an auntie Cynthia. I have, oh man, I got so many aunts on my dad's side. My aunt Peggy, my aunt Pep, my aunt Pinky, God rest her soul. My aunt that's almost like a sister, Nat or Levon. Let me see who else. Did I name everybody? Okay, I guess. Then I got my great aunts, Sayran, aka Auntie Dorothy. I got, man, it's a lot of women around me that I consider mothers and great mothers. I have some pastors, Pastor Cheryl, God rest her soul. She was a great mother figure. My boy, Miss Sheila, my boy Tyrone's mom, she was a mother figure for the time that I knew her. I just want to say, God rest her soul. Who else? Donna Murray, my boy Joseph's mom. She's been like a mom to me. Um, who else? I can't think of anybody else right off the top of my head. No, can't think of anybody else. But today we're gonna celebrate the mothers. Just a little history. I got to tell you guys, y'all ain't gonna believe this, but it's true. I'm not a mama's boy. I'm not a mama's boy. I never have been, never will be. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just not a mama's boy. I love my mom tremendously, but I'm not a mama's boy. Nah, I'm somebody who I'm too independent to be a mama's boy. I'm too I'm fiercely independent. And I never had the opportunity. I don't think I would want that for myself. I see how some of these mama boys operate, and some of these guys are, ooh. But anyway, but I love my mom. My mom and I, we basically had to grow up together because she was 17 when she had me, and then like 8 days later she turned 18. So when she had me, she couldn't even legally vote in the United States. So this was the 70s. My mom, I just told her the other day we were having a conversation. We was on the phone. I told her that I'm going to do get her and my father's mouth swabbed because I really don't believe I belong to them. Because if you look at them, you see how tall I am over her on this picture, and he's probably an inch or two shorter than her. So I don't know where I came from. I think I got mixed up over here in the medical center in Columbus, Georgia, back in the late 70s. But I'm thankful for them. My mom and I, we haven't always had the best relationship, but we have we've done what we needed to do to get to where it is that we needed to go. Um, and I'm thankful for my mom. I wouldn't want any other mom. That's a ship that brought me here, as they say. This is the person that she had to make sacrifices. She had to put herself, to the side to make sure that we were able to survive. As you can tell, I have two sisters. You got the one that's right next to her, that's Toot, aka Shalindia. Y'all call her Shay, but I know her as Toot. And then you got the one on the end, that's Kiara. She's like Kiara's not my natural sister, but I've only known her as a sister since she's been here, so that's how I treat her as a little sister. Um, but yeah, I had to have some things that I had to work out some things when it came to my relationship with my mom growing up. It wasn't um it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. My mom was as present as she could be. She was always able to do the very best that she could, and I appreciate her for that. We've had our issues, we've had our knockout drag out moments, but at the end of the day, she's still my mom and I love her. Um, yeah, she grew up in the South. She had to deal with her own thing. Lately, I've been, and then my sister has jumped on board where we've been doing some soul searching and research for her, and I know that parts of her are she's still discovering to this day, and I praise God for it. I praise God for technology. I praise God for the opportunity to be able to help in any way that I can. It was a pleasure to officiate her wedding, and hopefully this is it. I don't have to do it again for her. She seems to be okay with everything, and I still have a few more. I asked DJ if he wanted me to officiate his wedding. He said, "Sure, why not?" So I got at least one more down in my lifetime. But yeah, my mom, she grew up with my grandma. My grandma, Ethel B. Thomas, God rest her soul. She passed away in January of 2000 before she had the opportunity to meet either one of her great grandchildren. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, Destiny, would have been her first great grandchild. And I remember, I remember when I went to my grandma and I told her, I was like, "Hey, grandma," I was like, my ex and I, we about to have a baby. And my grandma, you just gotta love her. She was like, "It's about time." I'm like, "What? I'm only 21, 20, 21." But it is what it is. That's the grandmothers. I get it. She, wanted legacy. She wanted to, see legacy and experience legacy because her friends, their children had started having children in their teen years. But it's almost like I was late to the party for some for some reason. But it's life. It happens. I had not planned on having the children anytime soon, but I also didn't plan for her to leave in her 60s like that. So life is life. God knows way better than I do. I trust him and I believe him for everybody that's in my life. I place people before him all the time. And, even myself, and I want you guys to remind me in the comments that there's a friend that I want you guys to uplift in prayer because she's a mom, but she's going through a rough season right now. And then my grandma, Lizzie Mae, who was my favorite snake killer, my dad's mom, she was a woman that was she had my grandma has never had a job before. She was a woman that was to me, she was very smart. She was very open. She was very motherly. She was very you know, she really didn't say much, but when she said something, it meant something. And I had a great experience between the three of these women getting to where I am now. I'm 46 years old. Anything that I wasn't able to learn, anything that I wasn't able to do growing up, it's too late now. I don't blame them for anything, and I take full responsibility for my own life and everything that comes along with it. Again, I bless them, I trust them, I will always honor them for who it is that they are. My grandmother, Ethel B, the one in the middle, she's the only lady I know that has never graduated high school yet. Somehow she went to college. I don't know how, but it happened. It wasn't. It was a college in Columbus back in the day called Meadows College, and I think they taught stuff. Like what they teach. They probably teach stuff like little 2-year stuff, maybe if that much. But I know my grandma went to college, and she had never graduated high school, and that was amazing to me. So she was one of those people that can get into some doors. She used to take us. She used to take us with us. She had this little hustle that she used to go and clean bricks for money. My grandma was tough. She was a great singer. Oh my goodness, she was an awesome singer, and she would go. I remember being in church sometimes, and I'll be sitting in the front because, of course, my mom forced me to be an usher and all of these different things. Now, hindsight, I really enjoyed myself. I especially enjoyed youth and young adult choir at New Mount Zion Baptist Church, 631 Chesterfield Avenue, because my crush was there. But I remember my grandma used to come to church sometime, and she would just break out and start singing, and just like there was a hush over the church, and I'm just like, and trust me, none of her grandchildren got that gift. That she took that one with her. She didn't leave any that to anybody because nobody in my family can sing like she did. Nobody can sing like she did, but she was who she was, and that's what made her special. And I'm thankful for her, and I'm thankful for her life, and I'm thankful for her getting with my grandfather and to produce my mom that in turn produced me. Um, and then my auntie Tit. Y'all don't know her, and I don't have a picture posted, but I'll probably post a picture in March because she's turning 70. But um, I'm really thankful for Tit. Now my auntie Tit, she's like another mom, but she's one of them people. She's gonna talk trash. She's gonna talk trash, and she's going to she's gonna fuss. She's gonna cuss. She's gonna do all of that. But at the end of the day, she's gonna be there for you. She's gonna show up. She's gonna make it her business to help you the best she could. But you best believe she's gonna fuss and cuss all the whole way through. It ain't gonna be no what's we call it? It ain't gonna be no cakewalk with Auntie. So and I never called her Auntie. I always called her Tit. I always called her by her name. So I don't know, but yeah, my aunt Tit, aka Clara Jones, she used to be a lunch lady down in Pittsview, and she's always worked hard. In later years, I didn't realize my aunt had a degree and all of these different things. Yeah, forgiveness. Yeah, see why this air conditioner has to work at Summer Coach Studios because it's hot. This is a TV studio, so it's hot in here. But anyway, um, I gotta admit, I want you guys to know I got 5 children. I got 5 children between 3 women. Okay, just like the president. Shout out to me. And I can't have my life as it is and my children's lives as it is without the women that gave me my offspring. Um, I don't necessarily have the greatest relationships with them, but I don't hate them or anything like that. I don't talk bad about them. I don't put them down, but they're in a special compartment in my life. They're in a compartment that says, you know, we're good. We've come to this point. We don't have to go any further until it's time. I ain't buddy buddy. I ain't hanging out with them. I treat them with respect. I don't talk bad. I don't any of that stuff, but I know my place with them, and I hopefully they know their place with me. And I'm thankful for these ladies. They are good women. We just weren't good for one another. Um, their their contribution to my life is great. I can never return my children. I could never. I would never give my children back. My children are the very best part of me at this point. I'm doing everything that I can to always represent them and be a great man before them. Am I flawed? Absolutely. Do I plan to be a greater man going forward? You betcha. Every day I'm striving to be best. I'm striving to be better because life has shown me that my children need someone they can look up to, and not just my children, all children. And I've always wanted to be that person. I've always wanted to be that man for them that they can say, my dad may not have had everything, but he was generous. He shared, and he always made sure that we had what we needed. That's the thing that I want my children to walk away with when it comes to me, and their mothers for that matter. Um, they are they are great mothers to my children. I'll say that they're great mothers to my children, and I'm thankful for them. And I pray that they all have the very success and they reach all of their goals and things like that in life. That's my always been my prayer for them, whether we were together or not. Um, so and today I'm not going to stay on long for sure because it's Mother's Day, and I know you guys are probably spending time with your mothers. and things like that. But I'm getting to, the point that I'm making concerning Mother's Day, because there's something at the end that I really want to talk about, and I want people to be made aware of. It's a story that has already been floating around, but I want to tell it from my perspective. Um, but if you guys want to call, there's a phone number, or if you want to email or whatever the case may be, you're more than welcome. I'll put that up in a minute. Um, but let's talk about great mothers. What is a great mother? A great mother to me would be a mom who is completely selfless, who loves her children and those around her family. The Proverbs 31. You know, the Bible tells us, the husband and the children rise up and call her blessed. And so, a great mom is a blessed woman. And I see, I'm in these dating streets, and I see people out here making all of these little diatribes and these podcasts and things like that. Hey, I'm sitting on a podcast right now, and making all these different. Everybody has a different perspective when it comes to moms and women and single women and dating and all that type of stuff. Me personally, I do my best to date single moms, excuse me, of definitely single women, but single moms, because I've always wanted someone who can understand my sacrifices. And if I say, hey, I can't do it right now because of, I'm doing XYZ for my children, I've always wanted someone that can understand that. And so that's what I date. I try to go after women who have that understanding, um, who have that love and that respect for their own children and for their own mothers and things like that, to understand where I'm coming from. There's some great moms out here. I see moms working two and three jobs. I see moms making it happen when it seems like it can't happen. I've had some women in my life that were great moms that, of course, I'm not related to, but I've had relationships with, and I respect them. I am grateful for them. Grateful for a time in their presence. Excuse me, and I'm grateful for the things that they did to sacrifice for their own children and for their own families and households, and make it so that it would always be in order. Um, I'm grateful for a lot of women, a lot of women who have children, even those, who don't have children. And I want to talk about them for a second. There are a lot of moms out here who haven't become moms yet, or have little rainbow babies, as they're called, whose children didn't make it. I need people to understand Mother's Day isn't always good for everybody. Sometimes Mother's Day is very somber, very sad, because whether your mom is here, or, like I said just a minute ago, your children, you had children that didn't make it. Whether it's through um whether it's through miscarriage, or just simply infertility issues or fertility issues. Um, I try to be respectful of people, and I try to be respectful of women who may or may not have had the opportunity to have children, because I know that it's a sore spot for a lot of women. I know a lot of women feels that their value may be tied to them having children, but hey, people, and I hate when people are so dismissive about, oh, well, just go adopt. It's not the same. It's not the same, especially if I'm sitting over here with 5 children, and it wasn't hard for me to produce children, and that you would think that would be the normal thing, but that's not always the case with everybody. Some people really have to go before God, and some people really um, have to deal with the issues that come along with infertility and things like this, and they really want to be mothers. And adoption is not easy. Adoption is not easy. Adoption is very tedious. It takes a very long time to achieve that. And, let's not be insensitive to women who struggle with this. It could be some women can't have children a um based on a medical condition, or whatever the case may be. I just say, let's offer these women grace. Let's offer these women the opportunity and the space to just be real about what it is that they're going through. I have friends that I see on Facebook, or any type of social media, and there's there's my mom right there. Um, she Happy Mother's Day, mom. Again, I talked to you earlier, so but, there are, some women that, who really want to be mothers, yet they never had the opportunity or still waiting for the opportunity to be mothers. So, Mother's Day might not be as joyous for them as it would be for others, but that's okay. It's okay, and I want women to understand and know that you have the opportunity. God has not forgotten about you. He's not forgotten about you. Um, so let's, take the time to mourn with these mothers, celebrate with these mothers, all of these different things because life is fleeting, it's but a vapor. So let's take, every day as, a blessing, as something that's to be cherished. And to be able to have children, to be a mom, it has to be, one of the greatest, you know, um, jobs. It's one of the hardest jobs. Like I said in the introduction, in the description, children are a great risk. They're a risky investment because you could pour everything into these little jokers. You don't know what you're gonna get back. You get it's the longest return. It takes a long time to get a return on children, and it's not easy. Sometimes you can pour everything into these jokers and you don't get anything in return. Sometimes they turn around and give you their butt to kiss, but we're not talking about that right now. But it happens. Um, hmm. Now, I'm about 30 minutes in, almost 30 minutes in, and this part of the conversation today is going to be it's not personal. It's not it's hurtful, but it's not personal. And there's one particular mother. It is some mothers I want to talk about. There's some bad moms out there. There's some moms out there that's not worth a grain of salt. But we still have to honor them. Which and I'm a man who comes from a biblical perspective. I believe God's word. He says in His word, "Honor your father and mother." That's everybody. Honor your father and mother. It's a command. It's one of the 10 commandments. That's the only commandment with promise. You honor your mom. You honor your dad. You'll have long life. Yet there are some moms out here who should not be moms. I'm gonna say parents, but since today is Mother's Day, we're gonna talk about moms. I'll get to the fathers in June. Trust me. Uh, but there are some moms out here that don't deserve to be moms. They don't deserve to have children, yet they freely have children like it's nothing. Uh, there's one particular mom that I want to talk about. On the surface, she seemed like a great mom, but when you really pull all the onion back and peel the onion back, you'll see that she is probably the worst types of moms ever. And that lady's name is Shiloh Hendricks. You guys have heard the story. You saw the everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks over in Minnesota where this lady, very racist, very evil, very dirty, went and called a young 5-year-old black boy nigger, because I'm not afraid to say it. Called him a nigger, and because he went and into her son's diaper bag. Now the problem with this young boy is this boy has autism. This boy has a sickness. This boy has something that he can't help. But she decided in her whatever it is that she has that it's okay to do this in front of her children on a playground in front of other children. I don't have any respect for somebody like that at all. And the fortunate part about this whole thing is this young boy's mom wasn't around to really set that thing off like Boosie would say. And that's one thing I could say about mamas and mama bears. Moms do things that others don't do just simply out of reaction. The video came out. She was very mean. She was very nasty. She was very um she was just I can't even mention all the stuff that she is because I don't want to get shut down. But the truth of the matter is she doesn't deserve to be a mom because she's doing all this while holding her own baby. And so my the point I'm making is what is it that she's showing her own child when that baby grows up and encounters anything that's considered bad dealing with another black person. Who wants to deal with that on a regular? I'm getting text messages during the show. If y'all hear it, I apologize. Anyway, who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with seeing a mother who is holding her child and cussing and going on with another child in public? And I think that the saddest part about this whole situation is people have raised almost $1 million for this lady because she's turned on her white tears and become the victim all of a sudden because people are finding out who she is and things like that. Consequences of shame need to come back for some people. They do. Consequences of shame should be at the top of the order for a lot of people because simply because people are crazy. This heifer was crazy. And I ain't got no problem with saying that. I'm not gonna be here long tonight anyway because this show is about moms and I want you guys to celebrate your moms. But Shiloh Hendricks is the worst kind of mom there ever was. It doesn't matter if your mom was on drugs, if she was alcoholic, or whatever case may be. This lady was sober doing this. This lady was out in public doing this, cutting the fool with children around. I've never seen a mom personally that didn't protect other children because it's something about moms. You know, if we believe science, if we believe what the Bible says, every woman came from Eve. That's a given. You can look that up. So innately, I would think that mothering instinct should be inside of her. She could have simply said, "Oh no, 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 that's not your bag." Or when it found his parents, or whatever the case may be. No, she decided to attack a 5-year old, somebody who doesn't have it's a 5-year-old with autism. Let's not forget about that. Somebody who has zero knowledge, recollection, or whatever the case may be concerning what's going on with her and her issues. And she's ashamed. She's shameful and she's pitiful. And she's somebody that I would not want around my family, around my children, or anything like that. Um, and I really hope there's this young lady. I think her name is Kiana. I can't. It's something anyway. But I forget what her name is. But I follow her on Threads, and she was able to find out all the information that she needed to stop those funds, to freeze them. Or at least I think that's how it was going. But there was she started a campaign. Shiloh started a campaign on Give, Send, Go to collect money. And Give, Send, Go is supposed to be a Christian site. It's supposed to take care of believers. But at the end of the day, this girl ain't no believer. This girl is just looking to make a come up because she has these pseudo tears. And then somebody posted a picture of her kissing a black boy, a black man in her younger years. What does that mean? I've often believed that, a lot of people, they they don't mind sleeping with us. They don't mind hanging around us, being with us. But when it comes down to being down with us, they have issues with it. And I got issues with her. I'm not gonna lie. I hope everything that comes to her is hers. I hope nobody else helps her. I hope somebody would take and make her an example, because it's enough of this foolishness out here in these United States where there's a certain somebody in the White House at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who's emboldening people and having them think that they can have or do what it is that they want to do to people and not suffer any type of consequences or repercussions. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, but everything that she's done to this young man, I know what the word says. You reap what you sow. You got children, ma'am, and you're the worst kind of mom there is. You went against a 5-year-old and somebody had to call you out. And she's not the only person. Everybody that's emboldened and empowering her by donating to her campaign, whether it's anonymously or with your name out, you're just as guilty. You don't reward bad behavior. And I promise you, if it was the other way around, it would not have happened that way. It would not have happened that way. It would have been way worse for somebody that looks like me. Yet, people don't want to talk about those things today. There are so many moms that ended up losing their children to police violence, to um, just the system. the 1994 crime bill, which was authored by our old president as a senator, um, Joe Biden. But I'll talk about the 1994 crime bill later. I don't put all the blame on them, but at the same time, everybody has to bear some of the responsibility. But Shiloh Hendricks, you're the worst mom there is. The absolute worst. I would not want anybody that I know to hang around you to be influenced by you. And all these other moms and dads and everybody that's propping you up by donating to campaigns. I heard the biggest donation was like $10,000 from one person anonymously. And I'm like, does my black life really matter? Does that young boy's black life really matter? He's 5. He's 5 with autism. So clearly that means he doesn't understand everything that's going on. Yet you decided to verbally attack him. And you probably would have physically attacked him if it wasn't for that man who was out there videotaping you. It's something about our black bodies to some of these people out here that really intimidates them. What could a 5-year-old do to you, ma'am? So what? He went into your diaper bag. Find his parent. Find his caregiver. That's how you take care of that. But she better praise God that happened in Minnesota and not Atlanta or not Columbus or not Savannah or not in Montgomery. Because we know how Montgomery get down. They come with folding chairs and everything on the spot. America has something in her DNA. I'm talking about the whole country that allows this to happen without repercussion, and people feel like it's okay. Why? Why? This is amazing. It's amazing to me because it's like this is a 5-year-old kid, lady. It's some great mothers out there. It's some mothers that have done atonement, that atone for the stuff they may have done or anything like that. But I don't know what to say about this lady, Shiloh Hendricks. I'm going to say your name. No, it's not to glorify you. It's to expose you for being the racist piece of stuff that you are. I'm still saved, so I can't talk like everybody else. That's where we are in today. That's where we are today. That's where we are with everything concerning life in the United States. People are crazy. But I want to say though, you got a great mom. I want you to celebrate her. If your mom is not here, we mourn with you. And we want you to always keep her in your memory and always represent her the very best that you could. Now, before I go, because I'm only going to stay on like 5 more minutes, because I made homemade chicken noodle soup and I want to partake. Yes. Anyway, I have a friend. Now, I've never met this lady face to face. We've only spoken on the telephone and through the internet and things like that because we were supposed to be doing some podcasts together. And I really want you guys to lean in. I'm not going to say her name. Just know, just say, she's one of God's children. So if you pray for her, he knows exactly who you're talking about because I know who she's talking about. But she was diagnosed with breast cancer here recently, and she's young. She's only like 36 years old. She's a single mom. She has a son who's 36. She lives in the Atlanta area. But I want everyone to bombard heaven to see that she comes out of this. She's a gorgeous lady. She's a therapist. She has a lot going for herself. She's a great influencer. But I want people to remember her. To be so young. I want to say the one she said. I want to say she said triple negative breast cancer or something like that. She was dealing with. I have to go back and watch her video. But I want you guys to keep her arms lifted in prayer. I want you guys to remember her. She has, like I said, she has great wisdom. She's she's righteous. She's a great person. I'm she's I would consider her a friend, definitely. And I try to do what I can to encourage her as much as possible. And I can only imagine how scary it is going through this type of diagnosis and things like this. So please keep my friend lifted in prayer. Keep her son lifted in prayer, because I believe that, what the Bible says, that this sickness is not unto death. I think that she is going to make it through. I think that she's going to pull through. Yet, I don't think she should be able to do this by herself. I don't think she should have to go through this alone. I'll encourage her as much as possible. I'll do what I can to make sure that I keep you guys abreast of what's happening. But I want you to pray for my friend. I want you to put her in your prayers every day, because we understand what the word says. By his stripes, she's already healed. Jesus said himself, "This sickness is not unto death." We believe him for his miracle working power because he's already done it on Calvary's cross. So that's it for me for today. I'm giving you guys 40 minutes. I really didn't have much. I just want to come on and celebrate mothers, um, and expose some of the bad ones, especially mainly Shiloh Hendricks. Um, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I don't know what next week's show is going to be about just yet. Um, Thank you, Ma. Appreciate it. I don't know what next week's show is gonna be about just yet. We're go, I'm a, I'm re, I reached out to somebody I really want to talk to. He hasn't gotten back with me yet, so I'm going to work on that throughout the week. And I got to study for my doggone hazmat test. I failed this test twice already, so I got to get off here and study for this test. I took practice test online. I'm thinking I'm doing something. I'm like, 'cause I'm making 100 on a practice test. Test don't even match what's in the book. But if I want to keep making money, if I want to keep paying rent, I got to pass it this week because my license expired on Friday. Anyway, God bless you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I hope you have enjoyed your mothers, your mother figures. I hope you have enjoyed being a mom. I hope them kids gave you a rest, and I hope them husbands and them baby daddies reached out to you and told you how much they appreciated you. And I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate all the mothers out there. Honor your mom. Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. Honor your mom. Some people are still holding on to unforgiveness towards their mothers. It will behoove you to forgive and forgive quickly, to get on board with what God has for everybody concerning mothers out here. I love you guys. And I'm not going to, again, I'm not going to hold you long. This was going to be a quick show, and this is literally a quick show because I don't have anything to say. As always, like for you to share, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday, if God says the same. And God bless you. Happy Mother's Day from the Darell Show. Peace. Hey, little Musty. My bad. I forgot. I was too busy trying to get up out of here because, I'm off to the next thing. Check this out. I forgot to tell you, I need for you to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. Every time you see this chocolate man with these headphones and this doggone black glasses, you know you're finna get some good quality content. We over here talking with some sense over here, okay? I want you to let all you people know. Tell them to meet me every Sunday night, 9:00 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, every streaming platform you can find. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support, and I thank you. I'll catch you next time. All right? Peace.